family all know me, but for those of you who are here that don't know me, I'm kind of the irreverent one, so her life sketch is going to reflect that. I decided that most of you have probably read her obituary, and so it's not necessary to go into a lot of that. So I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about my sister Nancy. Just like all people, Nancy projected different faces during different parts of her life. Nancy June was what Dad called her. She was the baby of the family, 13 years younger than me. This age difference, combined with the fact that she was a natural beauty, made it real interesting one time when my mother sent me to high school to pick her up, and one of the student aides in the office called her to the office by telling her that her mother was here to pick her up. So that was real fun. Despite that, we became very close friends as adults, and that's the best thing you could ask for. And that is true of our whole family. And this was spot on when taking care of Nancy's wishes this past couple of weeks. It was a joy to be with my family during these difficult times. Sisters by birth, friends by choice is what we were, and oh yeah, Michael too. He's our brother. Now a bit about Nancy. It seems that her first pet was not a dog. It was a bird. So I found this in Nancy's thing, so here's her bird. Soon after that, she first discovered the love of her life, which is dogs. As witnessed by her writings from her elementary school that starts with the line, "I have the smartest dog in the world," and ends with, "I love him very much." This is a story of our childhood dog, Mist, a white poodle that she illustrated by this picture in her lesson. So this was done in 1970, so that's how soon she developed a love for dogs. I also found 2 pages of her 4th grade diary, which I'm now going to read to you. The first page says, March 2nd, 1974. It snowed today really wet. We, our 6th grade, got to shoot at ISU at the rifle range. Lucky me, I got to shoot twice. Got all 10 both times. I'm going to the track meet this afternoon. Grandma gave me this on 3/2/74 for a journal. That's the first page. And the second page says, private, keep out. That means you, Diane. And that's the only 2 pages of her journal that we had. So, Nancy attended both the Junior Engineers Technical Society summer session and the Women in Engineering workshop at the University of Idaho campus. She was a brilliant person. Her senior final report card showed straight A's, and she graduated 6th in her class with a GPA of 3.97. This despite something that all of you who know Nancy, this is despite 17 tardies, which is kind of the way Nancy lived her life. Although Nancy received a double bachelor's degree, one in math and one in chemistry, I believe that this certificate of merit stands there as one of her proudest moments. This is her certificate of merit for bicycle safety. And it was very important, and in there with her most important documents. During graduate school, Nancy taught math. At the end of all of her quizzes, she always put a math comment. So here's one of the keys, which I have no clue what it's about. But at the very end, here's the comment that says, "Hey Susie, did you have trouble with your math last night?" "No, why?" "Well, I thought a couple of these tricky questions. I'll check my answers with yours." "Okay, thanks. What did you get for number 1? 7. 7? Good. That's what I got. What did you get for question 2? Drop dead, Calvin." So she always had, as I was going through all these things, she always had funny cartoons at the end of all of her quizzes. So, and this is something that probably none of you realize, but it seems to me it was very important to her because she kept this. On the 13th day of June, 1998, I am proud to say my sister officially became the Reverend Nancy Roberts of the Universal Life Church. And here is her certificate. So, along with all the treasures in her treasure file, I found flowers from Denise's wedding that she had put like this, and also copies of all of the wedding announcements of all of her siblings. So, the last thing I have to say is when we were cleaning her house, one of the nephews that was cleaning out her drawers, in the very bottom of one of her drawers, found this. Now, I don't know why he brought it to me, because it expired in 2005, which is coincidentally about the same time my sex life expired. So. But I want you to know that she was ultimately prepared. So that's the things that I kind of wanted to say about Nancy. I want you to know that she was just kind of that kind of person, and I really loved her. I have a small poem that I'd like to read. It's by an unknown author, and I'm going to kind of jerry-rig it a little bit because it does say he instead of she. Not how she died, but how did she live? Not what did she gain, but what did she give? These are the units to measure the worth of a woman as a woman, regardless of birth. Not what was her church, nor what was her creed, but had she befriended those really in need. Was she ever ready with words of good cheer to bring back a smile and banish a tear? Not what did the sketch in the newspaper say, but how many were sorrow when she passed away. So that's kind of my life sketch of Nancy. Those of you who have read her obituary know the other important things about her life. So there is an Indian legend which says when a human dies, there's a bridge that they must cross to enter into heaven. And at the head of that bridge waits every animal that the human encountered during his lifetime or her lifetime. The animals, based on what they knew of this person, decide which humans may cross the bridge and which are turned away. So that makes it very clear to me that I know where my sister Nancy is. And I love you all, and I thank you for being here, and I love my family. Thank you.